Oh, brother, look at this silly shit. Okay. Former Marine, beaten badly for standing up to bullies. Let me tell you something about Marines. I'm ex-Navy. Navy guys couldn't stand up to Marines for shit. Okay? And I'll tell you why. When you go into the Air Force or the Army or the Navy, the Air Force goes strictly for brains. They want guys that have a high ASVAB test. Army, they want ground pounders. They just want mass amounts of guys. Navy, they want a little bit higher than the average, but you know, not really super smart unless you're going to get into subs or you're going to get into nuclear, you know, that type of stuff. I was a torpedo man. So, Marines taught one thing: kill, kill, kill. That's all that they're taught. Okay, let me tell you about the boot camps for Marines versus the Navy. The Navy, you go for 8 weeks, 2 months. Okay, the last week is pretty much fuck-off week. The worst that you're going to get in the Navy is they put you what's called through Hell Week, and you get to go work in the kitchen. The Marines get to go for 3 months, and they get no contact with the outside. They get no week of anything, and they are beaten rigorously, physically, treated like shit. I mean, their whole character is just totally demolished because they have to teach them to work as a team. There's a place called Paris Island. Go read about it. There's one way in that motherfucker, and there's one way out. And if you think you're going to run away and hide, you can run into the swamps and get eaten by the alligators. Okay? Okay, when I went to San Diego, there was Camp Pendleton. If you decided you want to run away from the Navy in boot camp, you had to go over the fence into the Marines boot camp, and that was not a good thing for you. Okay? Marines don't get beaten up by bullies. Marines are taught to be bullies. They're taught to put a bayonet on and stab something. Okay? They're taught to be killers. That's what the deal is. This guy got his ass beat. It's because he probably tried to take on one too many dudes. Or maybe tried to take on one guy that was just better than him. But he did not get beaten up for standing up to bullies. Don't make this into a 3rd grade after school fucking special. Okay? These guys are trained killers. That's why they're called the Marines. They go in before the Army does. They're the dudes that you saw with Tom Hanks when they were landing on Normandy, Saving Private Ryan, that type of stuff. They were the first motherfuckers in. They're always the first one in. The guys that go in before them that work in Black Ops, which is interesting because Black is Saturn, Ops was his sister that he married. So, of course, they got to throw that in. They go in and they do the stuff behind the scenes. But the Marines are the dudes that do the face-to-face stuff. So, boo-hoo, tough shit. This guy was probably in a motorcycle accident. Okay? Nobody's beating a real Marine up because by a bunch of bullies. Maybe a bunch of other Marines whooped that ass, but he didn't get beat up by a bunch of, for standing up to a bunch of bullies. Fucking give me a break. Wow, cornball.